Welcome back.
to Marriage Beyond the Veil. So I have a question.
Hmm.
Do you think that the tradition of marriage is less desirable now than it was 34 years ago?
Absolutely.
Why?
I think that making that type of commitment
Mm-hmm.
is something that's just foreign to people now.
Yeah.
I think that with society and with all of the nuances of relationships,
Mm-hmm.
of people, gender, identity, all
Mm-hmm.
those things, um, that traditional a traditional mindset of marriage is something that is passe, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think that we don't need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and I think a lot of people feel like um, I'm better being able to just do what I want with whom I want when I want.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there is a a desire to be less, at least attempt to be, what's the word?
Monogamy?
In a monogamous relationship,
Mm-hmm.
people are much more like whichever the way the wind blows, and whatever I'm feeling at the time, whoever I'm feeling at the time, I just want to be free to do that.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100% because I do think it's less desirable, and for a lot of different reasons as well.
Hmm.
One being that I think so many things are so easily accessible because I mean you can literally go online and start a divorce.
Well, you can go online, get married. You can go online and start a divorce. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, but you look at what were some of the things that marriage really held near and dear?
Mm-hmm.
Being able to have a family.
Yeah,
Well, people get sperm donors and all that kind of stuff now,
that's true.
and surrogates and all that. They don't even have to
Mm-hmm.
have a baby, even if they want one. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like we can get this person to do that, and
Right.
we can get this person to donate. I mean, you're talking about financial stability. Well, it's just like once
Yeah.
upon a time, men were traditionally the ones
Well,
that
the
the
breadwinners.
breadwinners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And see, even that term breadwinner, that
Mm-hmm.
is so archaic. But women definitely have their own careers,
Mm-hmm.
have their own money. In a lot of cases, women run circles around men financially,
It's
and so it's
true.
just like, why do I need to be bothered with that? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so there's just so many things that about a traditional marriage
Mm-hmm.
that it afforded a woman
Mm-hmm.
that is no longer necessary.
Well, a
And so,
woman and a man too.
well, true.
Because I also feel like in this era where people do things equally,
Hmm.
for like you said, way back when marriage was, you people went to college to find a husband. You know what I mean?
Right. The saying was
Yeah.
a man went to college to get his BS, and a woman went to college to get her MRS.
Right. And
Yeah.
so, but that's different now. Women go, they want to get a career, and a lot of women want to start. But I mean, um, even in different types of relationships and same sex relationships, whatever, like you said, even though they can get married, some people just choose not to make that commitment. And I think a lot of it just gets down to just that. We talk about these young people don't stay in jobs very long. People don't, I mean, so what is,
Everything is just like,
yeah, so
yeah.
what is it that people are committed to if you're not committed to a relationship? And then, you see people who have been together for 50 years and they never ever said I do. It might be a stretch, but people have been together for a long time and they never said they were married, and they've still accumulated lots of things. So I don't know that, like you said, I don't think that the tradition of marriage is anything
It's very appealing for maybe this
right
generation
that
and the
they
one before.
that they see value in.
And that's what's key,
Yeah.
because I'm a firm believer, whether you're talking about marriage or anything else, uh, one has to see value,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if there is no value, then what's the point? And sadly, I think a lot of people just don't see the value in traditional marriage. Because again, there's so many different competing
Mm-hmm.
opportunities, if
Yeah.
you will. So there you have it. I do think that it has changed, and it doesn't have the same value um, or appeal, if you will, today as it did 34 years ago. You know, I mean, even when people do get married, like you say, just like with a job, they may not stay with it. You know, when we got married, we really embraced the for better or for worse. But today, unfortunately, it's for better or forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So until tomorrow, if the Lord says the same.
Have a good evening.